I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network, and this is a breaking news alert. The Department of Justice in the special master proceeding arising out of the search warrant executed at Mar-A-Lago before Judge Raymond Dearie just filed a letter brief that just absolutely slams Donald Trump. The letter brief is docket number 121, and it goes after Donald Trump's frivolous recent objections to the special master process. And you may be saying, didn't Trump initiate the special master process? So what is he objecting to? And when did he object to it? Well, if you dig deeper, there's a filing at docket number 119, which says system entry. Docket entry 119, order restricted, sealed until further notice. Now, it's not clear if that's where these objections were, but there is some under seal filing that Donald Trump made, not to the public, but filed it under seal and confidentially to Judge Raymond Dearie. The Department of Justice is calling Trump out on these objections in public. None of this should be under seal, and Judge Raymond Dearie isn't filing anything under seal. The fact that Trump is likely trying to conceal and make this process private and secretive, Judge Dearie's not going to stand for that. A lot of the undersealing filing at first is just administrative to begin with and not necessarily part of the proceedings at all. And we see the response to these objections, though, in a public filing, and that's the one I want to talk about right now, what these objections are, because the Department of Justice isn't filing stuff under seal. They're like, look, Donald Trump, you initiated this process. You are the plaintiff in the process. You reap what you sow. This is your process, and we are going along with what you want to do. And so here's the line that I love the most about this filing as we go into it. You go to the very bottom of this letter brief, and it says, plaintiff, Trump, brought this civil lawsuit, equitable proceeding. He bears the burden of proof. If he wants the special master to make recommendations as to whether he is entitled to the relief he seeks, Trump will need to participate in this process by categorizing documents and providing sworn declarations as the amended case management contemplates. Why? Because Donald Trump is objecting to all of these processes. He doesn't want to submit an affidavit or declarations under oath attesting to all of the things he's saying on his social media platform and what he's saying in the rallies, because they are lies. And Judge Raymond Dearie has ordered Trump to submit not private, public declarations under penalty of perjury saying, okay, you're saying the FBI planted documents, you're making all these accusations. Well, FBI, DOJ, submit the inventory list, please. The DOJ and the FBI submitted the inventory list on September 26th. And now the judge has ordered Donald Trump, okay, you have the inventory list, respond to it. Go through it and say under penalty of perjury if you think the FBI is lying. Are there documents that you claim are planted? Let's hear under penalty of perjury what you have to say to the categories of documents on the inventory list submitted by the FBI and the Department of Justice. And Trump doesn't want to do that. And so we see in this letter brief, the Department of Justice is saying how plaintiff's objections. They go, Trump makes 3 objections to the amended case management plan. Although the 3 objections are different, all are without merit. Pause for a second. Think about this, though. Donald Trump is objecting to the process that Donald Trump asked for. This is what he wanted. He's the one objecting. The Department of Justice didn't want to go through this process at all. The Department of Justice argued that there shouldn't be a special master, but there was a special master appointed. The Department of Justice got the documents back that it wanted, those classified records, so Trump couldn't delay it anymore. Now Trump doesn't want to be in this process anymore, so he's objecting to his own process. He's objecting to his own process. Is there anything more Trumpian than that? And then the Department of Justice goes through it. They go, first, contrary to Trump's objections, the verification required by Trump on the detailed property inventory is a condition precedent to the document categorization and privilege review. The special master needs to know that he is reviewing all of the material seized from Mar-A-Lago on August 8th, 2022, and no additional materials. So what Donald Trump is trying to do is saying, I don't want to submit the affidavits and declarations now. Maybe sometime in the future I'll deal with it, but I'm not going to do it it now. And the Department of Justice saying that's not what the special master ordered you to do. The special master ordered you, said it was a condition precedent, a condition before. Before we even go down and make these categorization issues, you need the sworn declaration under penalty of perjury, because the Department of Justice realizes that Trump does not want to deal with any of that. Second, the amended case management plan has 6 categories and the appointment order 4. And that's entirely a function of the fact that the 4 categories in the appointment order speak of privilege in general and do not differentiate between attorney-client and executive privilege. So one of the things that Donald Trump has made these secret under seal objections to is he's saying that, Judge Dearie, you are violating Judge Eileen Cannon's order because she had 4 categories and you have 6. And the Department of Justice is saying, well, look, that's because Judge Eileen Cannon just focused on the executive privilege type of issues. And the only thing that was added here by Judge Dearie is potential more categories for attorney-client privilege records. And so these additions are all encompassed in what we're talking about. And this is what the special master is doing anyway. So these objections are completely illogical and make no sense. I mean, that's what they say. They go, plaintiff's objections has no logical basis. And then it goes third, the special master's request for briefing on a particular point of law is similarly consistent with the appointment order. The government will brief that point of law. It behooves plaintiff to brief that point as well. And here what Trump is allegedly objecting to is that Judge Dearie said, at the end of the process, you need to submit a brief about whether you think that I, Judge Dearie, should be the one making Rule 41G decisions. This is Criminal Rule of Procedure 41G, return of seized property, or if that should go before Judge Reinhart. And Trump's objecting to that, likely because he wants Judge Eileen Cannon to make that decision and thinks that the special master shouldn't be involved in this process at all. But Trump is objecting and saying, I don't even want to submit a brief to you. I know, Special Master Dearie, you are requesting that we submit briefs to you. We don't want to submit a brief to you. That goes outside the scope of what Judge Cannon said. And here, the Department of Justice is saying, this is the special master you wanted. Just follow the process that the special master is telling us to do. This all relates to the seized material, and let's just go through the process and stop with these frivolous and absurd objections. So that's what's in the brief that the Department of Justice filed there. And then a little bit earlier in that letter, and I did a whole other video on this letter, document 121, that was just filed by the Department of Justice. They also say that none of the document vendors, none of the electronic discovery vendors who would host the seized materials for everybody to review, the Department of Justice to put it on the system to host it so that Trump could make the categorizations and the judge can see it as well. None of the vendors want to work with Trump because they don't even trust him that he's going to pay their bills. So the Department of Justice told the judge, we now have to contract with the discovery vendors because Donald Trump can't even function to even hire the electronic discovery vendors in the first place. That is how frivolous, and how people view Donald Trump as being just unable to pay, unwilling to pay. No one wants to work with Trump. And so now Judge Dearie sees that as well. So that's the scathing letter brief. We'll see what Judge Raymond Dearie does. But for now, that's the update. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hey, hit the subscribe button right now. Please hit the subscribe button for more independent news updates like this. And if you want to get involved and help grow this network as well, you can go to patreon.com/MeidasTouch. That's patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Until next time, I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network.
At MeidasTouch, we are unapologetically pro-democracy, and we demand justice and accountability. That's why we're spreading our message to Convict 45. That's right, gear up right now with your Convict 45 tees and pins at store.MeidasTouch.com. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.